What is up, Honey Badger Nation, man? Thank you guys tuning in to another episode of Expert Mentors Live. And I'm excited to have the one and only Miss Jana in the house with us. And, Jana's been on the show before, and, we go way back.
Way back.
We go way back. So Jana is like, sends me a message and says, hey, we need to talk. I was like, hey, cool. What you got? And, I didn't realize that, what is this, year 11, year 12 for your event?
Yeah, this is our 12th year. I don't even know if we can count the first few because you know how it is. Your first few events, you're just trying to throw it against the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah. What I love about your story, Jana, and it's true and just never settling. Never giving up. There is always pursuit of that destination. And
right.
It's one of the things that, talk about all the time. And I was actually just on Justin and Joel's virtual mastermind. And it's just one of the concepts that I was talking about is that, so many people that they don't have a destination. They don't have a freedom. They don't understand that what we do for business is just a vehicle that can evolve as we evolve, as the opportunities evolve, to allow us to keep on the path in pursuit of where we want to go. But there's so many people that, maybe they've lost sight of that big future. They've lost sight of those dreams. They've lost sight of that vision, and they fall into a survival type of mentality.
Sure.
Yet when you're able to kind of disengage and step back and be like, wait, hold on. Like, this is my future. This is my freedom. This is where I want to be. And then understanding that it's such a creative world that we can design this however we want to design it. What am I passionate about? What am I really, really good at? And let's go get it. And you're just a fantastic example of the evolution of always never settling, never just falling in. Well, this is how it's supposed to be. And just really continuing to push yourself and evolve, and just like, even talking about the view of where you're at, right? That's an evolution that I see in you as well. So it's great to have you on. I know you're going to drop a ton of value, and, everybody listening in, we're going to have a pretty cool opportunity for you guys to get plugged into something Jana's got going on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, thank you, John. And thank you, Honey Badger Nation. You guys, we do go back a long way. And I would say it really started with none other than Michael Reese here in the Dallas area, his young hustler spirit as a new agent, me as a new stager, us kind of combining forces. And back in the day when he was actually listing properties. And then here comes Jay, and doing some things together, and the training and NAEA, the evolution just of the vehicles that you guys have modeled, I think is so great. And now we go to EXP. What an incredible vehicle to not only be an active income, but also be building some passive income. And I would say that I think the biggest paradigm shift for me, if I were to look and say what moved the needle lately for us, was the information from going from residential into investing, and the vehicle of choice for us is multifamily. I stumbled on into a room where one of our mentors, Grant Cardone, was speaking here in Dallas. I can literally see the hotel downtown, and not knowing a soul in the room. Like, I'm in residential, right? I know I've been in this, we're going on over 20 years now. And so it was a whole nother language. It was still math, but it was like geometry and algebra. And so we're learning new terms. And I started seeing all these people hitting massive wealth, massive success on this journey, just like me. They weren't any different than us. And I just started being open to the idea of, wow, maybe what I'm doing, there's a better way, there's a better path of building wealth. And I kind of see it, John, as we're all earning income still, probably. We have some active earned income, whether that is, selling properties, listing, doing some type of flips, and buy and holds, like whatever that is, that it still causes our attention. We still have to pay attention to it and do some kind of activity. Then how do we shift over into the investor model where now earned income is just deployed into some investments? Then we finally can get to that third level, which is building wealth. And that's where the money is literally working for us. Even in the cash flow quadrant, getting into that investor quadrant from business owner to investor, now we're still redeploying the passive income into, investments, which is that multi-stream that was open to me, and I know has been open to you and some of our key people in here. I was on the phone with Sheila this morning, right? Like people that are they don't quit. They don't quit. They have such fire in them, one big fire, right? Like we're doing things together. We're all teaching each other as we're learning these new methodologies to keep going and keep growing.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fantastic. And I love how you broke that apart, and understanding, really the earned income is, I always like to joke, it's just, it's the dancing bear, right? And, if we stop dancing, we stop that earned income. That income stops coming in for us. So what are we doing to utilize that vehicle, that earned income, to not only create opportunities, create investments, create, additional revenue streams, so that at some point, and I always joke, right? I've never met a real estate agent that told me they want to be showing properties when they're 83 years old.
Right.
And so thinking through what is that exit strategy, being able to have that. What do you think, Jana, is for agents, the biggest, it's probably mental, but what is the biggest barrier that stops them or prevents them from stepping into, out of the earned income into additional revenue streams?
I think it's twofold. It wasn't necessarily modeled to them. And so it's kind of part of that default, life by default. And then the fear. It's the fear of the unknown. They've heard the horror stories, or maybe they have invested one time, didn't work. And so now they're shut down. But I think that if we get out of our own way and say, what are other key, highly motivated, highly successful wealth generators, wealth builders doing, that is exactly what we would need to follow. And so getting out of our own stuckness, which again is mindset, it's all back to mindset, but also knowing that today is a new day, there's opportunities all around us. And so how do we make calculated risks in investing that is still great vehicles that are going to get that wealth generating? And it's not based on the dancing bear. It's not based on our hard-earned active time. It's going to start that way, but we then get to start building these machines. And I didn't know this getting into it. Like right now we're in almost 1,000 doors, 6 different apartment complexes that we're actually owners at a GP level, a general partner level, a little over 90 million assets under management. And this all happened in the matter of less than 2 years. And it's for us just understanding residential, now moving over to this other vehicle. And again, the rules change, right? The way that you do this math is definitely different, but we get to build on all of our knowledge in residential. It definitely allows us to fast track the journey. So it can happen for any of us, as long as we're with the right people, learning the right information, because information does keep people from moving forward.
Right. I would agree. These expert mentor conversations are a lot of how-tos, right? Hey, start here. Let's take this step. Let's take this step. So let's speak to our average agent that is not just surviving, that's kind of in that stage 2 to stage 3. Maybe it's somebody's on a team, they're ready to graduate off, or they're starting their own team, or Even heck, I mean, they might even be on a team, but for most part, let's speak to kind of that icon agent that has not really ventured out into other revenue streams, just been really head down, really trying to make their business work, really stuck in the residential space and doing a lot of transactions. Let's kind of give them a play-by-play of, hey, think through this. This is kind of your first step. This would be your second step, and so on. I think it'll be really impactful for the honey badgers listening in.
Absolutely. And we're going to break this down at our conference. Mike Reese is speaking. You guys are going to hear him talk about taking a lead into a client, into a partner, this is, by the way, you don't do this alone. At this level, this is like a football team on the field, different positions, making plays and scoring together. So if you're kind of that independent, this may not be for you. If you love team, if you love working with people, collaboration, and then kind of dividing and conquering and scoring together, this is the play. First, it's really about, John, I know you guys talk about this, is your freedom number, like understanding what earned income is coming in from me in the hustle, listing properties, selling properties. Maybe you also have the rental. Maybe you have a little bit of income coming in, but it's still, you consider active. You still have to pay attention to it. You still have to dance a little bit. Now knowing that income that's coming in actively, now what are my expenses going out? And then what's my delta? What's my NOI? Let's just call it a net operating income, just to give you a term that we use in multifamily. You want to know that delta, and then you're like, okay, can I now get this into storing it so that I can build it up a bit and start deploying? So store and deploy. We're not saving it. We're not putting it in a bank forever, and it just literally lose money sitting there in a bank. But we're going to store it maybe to a certain amount, and we're going to go find an asset to invest in. That's going to take about 3 to 5 years on average, projected returns to come back. And we've typically gotten a double. And now we get to go redeploy. And you're typically paid out quarterly. So first, it's understanding the numbers. Like, if I used to hate the word budget, like that was a bad word. I didn't want to be on a budget. If I see something, I want to go get it. I know my income, I want to go get it. But it's a different play on that. It's like, what is coming in, what's going out, and now how do I replace that income that I'm having to work for? And we know super easy math, John, is for every 50K into an investment at a 6% return is $250 a month coming back to you. So now it's just math, and 6% is pretty typical, can get up to 8, 10, 12, 15, depending on the projected returns. So now every 50K in is $250 a month going out like clockwork. So how many 250s do I need to get to replace? Don't let that number scare you, because at the end of the day, every 3 years, every 5 years, we're going to get a big hit. We're going to refi a property. We're going to exit a property and sell it. And you're getting the doubles. You're potentially getting the triples. And then you're have a new problem. Okay, where's our next property, right? And every time it refis is a non-taxable event, by the way. I met Mike at engaged with him after about 3 years of living in Puerto Rico at Build a couple of years ago. And I said, are you into multifamily yet? Are you, and he kind of looked at me funny, because he knows me as more than a stager, but I back in the day. And he said, well, we're maybe some developments. And I said, yeah, but that doesn't have the bonus depreciation. And, and he just looked at me funny, like, okay, where have you been and what have you been learning? And he kept this from me. So short end, right? He's been at multifamily with us, conferences. He's invested more. We've got more people in the group that are getting to see this in a new light, that where's my money being deployed, that I can store it, and then I can get those hits of return. So John, to answer your question, like, just get familiar with your numbers.
So know the numbers, know where you're at. If you're in a position, you're like, hey, I need to kind of keep my head down, keep my business going. But as a real estate agent, what can I do? And you're talking about, hey, I get the team concept, and I can create these clients. And so how can I work if I really don't have an excess amount of cash to invest myself? How can I position myself and my knowledge and finding the deals and my hustle to get me maybe started into kind of a percentage into a partnership capacity?
Well, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of it is like the specialized team on the field. You may have a quarterback, you may have someone that's going out and they're finding deals. They are, we've got so many pieces of this, right? Due diligence, CapEx. We have all types of, we've had asset management. So maybe you've had property management background, right? What are your skill sets? What are your tools? What are you bringing? The specialized knowledge and plays that you have built and grown in residential that now are going to be assets to the team. And so we're going to have people that are going and finding deals. We walked a property a couple of days ago, 133 units. They bought it for 15 2 years ago, and we have an LOI, an offer in at 13 that's been accepted. So we are looking for, if you love negotiations, right? You love to hunt, find deals, negotiations. You love to capital raise or build teams or those type of things. There are places for everyone. Most realtors are, in this group at least, are in action, and they're in the mode of building. And so this is a great, I would call it a shift when the time is right. It may take you a couple of years, 1 or 2 years to learn it, like it did for us, but we want to collapse time, for other people coming along, that they can just jump in and have the information to be able to make good calculated decisions when the time is right. Save yourself a year or two to learn, then start getting into assets and building wealth. That's about a 3 to 5 year play. And then you start that duplication and multiplication. Your family is set up, legacy wealth being built. It's not based on you and your hard work. It's multiple streams of passive income. And we've hit that level already, hitting, because we wanted to expedite this. And so that's why we're in not only 6 properties that we help run, but we're in 4 other as LPs. So it's pretty exciting once this thing starts. It's not like buying a house and flipping it, and now where's my next one? You can have multiple deals at one time going. And so it's pretty awesome.
It is. It is fantastic. And a little paradigm shift, even for me, I had Kyle Whistle on earlier this year, and we were talking through, and it was even in the residential side of things. And our start was in the real estate mode, right? For a lot of people that are listening to this conversation, they were in the trenches in real estate mode. We had an investor approach us like a lot of real estate agents do. And we helped him, get into some deals, and was just in the real estate agent capacity. That was our role with him. And we started running, our guarantee, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. And that's kind of what attracted him to come to us, and, having that unique selling proposition, and it opened more doors for us than not. And so, just kind of a side note for everybody listening in, what is that USP that you have? And I think especially where things are going residential, especially with NAR and what is coming down the pipe with the commission structure and all of that fun stuff, is definitely positioning yourself on the listing side. So everything you do needs to be there. But that investor, we helped him, make some money, do some deals. And he approached us and he said, you know what? I have a suspicion that if we partnered on these deals, you would find a lot more deals for me. And we're like, damn straight. So that's how we got in. And, we formed the partnership. We found the deals, we marketed them, we sold them. And, He did all of the work. He actually, helped with the financing component side of it. And, it was a great win-win. And until we became the investor.
Yes.
So if you look at the progression, right, like what you're talking about, and this is what I want to get people, hey, where do I start and understand the progression? And so like, for us, we were just the real estate agent working with the investor, finding deals. We ended up becoming the partner, and then we became the investor. Yeah. And it was just over a period of time to how that evolution happened. And so I think the same thing here that I'm hearing from you too, Jana, is, getting in there, and maybe your role right now is finding opportunities. Maybe that is your role, in whatever capacity. But I think finding the team and knowing your position, knowing your role, and getting really good at your position, it makes you invaluable, makes you irreplaceable to the team, right? That's what I always tell my kids. Yeah. I'm like, just get in there. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're washing dishes. Make yourself irreplaceable. Like they could not do this without you. And I think that's the same thing that carries over into what you're talking about. And it is a team game. I mean, Jana, the reality is that everything's a team game. And even like I was like, Tiger Woods would not be Tiger Woods without the team, right? He always had a team around him to allow him to do what he, is obviously the best in the world at. But it takes a team. But you got to find your role, and you got to become the best at that position. And there's no better way than getting plugged in to your world and really being able to get plugged in. And you have an opportunity in 2 weeks here in Dallas, actually in Frisco. You got to separate that, right? It's not, I can't just say
for those that know the Dallas area, we are surely in Frisco, North Dallas for sure.
North Dallas, but the event that you're having and how that evolution has happened, year 12 here, and how it's grown. And I think, the thing for you is, structuring events that, provide the most value, and you're providing education and opportunity to help create a vehicle that allows people to get truly get to freedom, and get to freedom faster. I would love for you to kind of unpack and kind of talk about the intent and the goal of the event that you have coming up.
Well, absolutely. And thank you, John. I know you were at our conference last year, and we've had so many amazing people share stage with us. And this really was also a shift in our event space. We were initially started out in the design home staging, really helping a lot of women business owners see this as a true business. And once we started learning multifamily, even last year, we started talking about business owners. You really need to be investor minded, because you can't put all your eggs in your business basket. You really have to look up and see, what are you building? What are you building? So we have now shifted into business owners and investors, and those are our primary focuses. And John, I know you help so many business owners. At the end of the day, real estate realtors are business owners. And it's all about, how do you get your business in order, whatever that is, so that it can eventually run without you. You don't have to sell it, by the way. You just have to hire the right people that can run it, and that become an income stream, a machine that you can now deploy into assets. And that's where the investor side. So our goal is to take business owners and leaders and really shift them into that investor mindset. And our vehicle choice is multifamily. Some people do, storage. Some people do all kinds of, they're still in the fix and flip, and that's fine, but still, that's a job. Let's just be real. It's a job. We don't buy anything that's less than 36 doors, because it can afford its own management. And we're, by the way, buying businesses. These are not houses we're buying businesses, and we have to run them like businesses. They have to cash flow day one. All of the keys we're going to be talking about at the conference. We've called it ConnectCon because we're connecting business owners, we're connecting investors together in the room. We have not only Michael Reese, that's going to be sharing some incredible knowledge. We have Levi's going to be there. We have Paul Hutchison, who runs the largest private fund in the U.S. and is behind the movie Sound of Freedom. If you're familiar with that, like we've just got some incredible a brokers panel, our 10X coaches panel, our women in real estate panel. There's just going to be a lot of knowledge shared, but at the end of the day, it's about the connections and it's about the network. We partner with people who we know, like, and trust, and who are part of our events. There's no doubt, like I said, we're going to close on another asset at the end of this year. We're going to probably close on 6 to 8 deals next year. And we want people in the room that are looking for an opportunity to build wealth. And they can keep the day job, they can keep the earned income, but let's deploy into income producing assets and let's get on the journey of building wealth for ourselves, for our family, for our kids. And it's just pretty exciting. So we're going to literally allow everybody, you guys, please do not share this information. I am very serious. We have not done this to any other group, but we're going to literally allow you guys to come with a comp ticket. Like I said, we can, our lowest price ticket right now at executive level, I think they're at, $237. We kept it pretty low. We've got $11.97 for diamond, but we're literally going to comp you a free ticket just because you're part of this group who we have had lots of history with. We've been through lots of amazing conferences from EGS, like everything. We just have such history with you guys. We want to honor those that are in Honey Badger Nation that are part of this EXP group and literally comp you guys a ticket. You can go to ConnectCon 2023 and just put comp in the promo code, one per person, right? So we want to be able to honor you guys for your loyalty and all the hard work and dedication to be able to gift you some information and also some really cool relationships. So I can't wait to see, at least I would love to see like 50 of you guys there representing One Big Fire, representing this group. By the way, there might be some, opportunities. There's going to be other realtors in the room, let me just say, from other places. So let's get there and make an impact and support Mike. Right? He's going to be on stage. It's going to be awesome to be able to support him.
I love it. And so we are at connectcon2023.com. The Honey Badger code is just comp. And to get the ticket, and that's November 11th and 12th here in Frisco, Texas.
That's right. About 3 weeks away, to a little less than 3 weeks. And there are people in this room, by the way, that have paid a full price ticket. So hopefully nobody gets upset. But we really just want to honor you guys. We got about 50 seats to fill, and I want you guys in the room.
I love it. So connectcon2023.com. Honey Badger code is comp to get your ticket November 11th and 12th. Frisco, Texas. They're at the what's the name of the hotel? It's there at the Stonebriar.
The Hyatt Regency that's bolted onto Stonebriar Mall.
Stonebriar Mall. Yeah. Fantastic location. I mean, if you guys are close proximity, I mean, even if you're a plane flight away, it's worth it. I mean, direct shots into either Love Field or DFW and 20-minute, 25-minute Uber ride from either airport up to there at the hotel there here in Frisco. And, Jana, you're always world-class in everything you do. Your events are world-class. And I know, this is going to be absolutely no different. And it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for people to get plugged in. And I loved what you said, a couple things, right? And really making sure, that, we're keeping the day job, right? A lot of people already have that. They're either their own company, they're already on an org chart. And what this is to buy, I loved how you put it, buying a business. And it's not a job. And what people have to remember is anytime that you're on the org chart, that means you have a job. And we're really looking to be, over the business, not working in or working on, but working over, that's a true ownership type of structure. Because if you're working on or working in, that means you're on the org chart somewhere, which means you have a job. And
Right.
to really build true wealth outside of your actual business, that actual pillar, man, you don't want to be on very many org charts. I can tell you.
No, we are advisors. We are investors. We want to live there, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's it definitely is a shift in the people's thinking to be able to do that. And I was thinking this is really an event to where you can be the player that's going to go get to go find the team to be a part of. That's just listening to you and the conversation we had the other night, and really what this event to me is that, hey, you're a player, you have a skill set. Come to this event to find the team to be a part of.
Absolutely. And I don't want to, divulge confidence here, but even talking with Sheila this morning, Sheila understands multifamily, and she understands the potential and the opportunity. So I know so many people look up to her and what she's built. That this literally is legacy wealth play in motion. It's many people are earning income even passively, but where are we deploying that? What are we building with it? And so the future of real estate, right? The future of real estate is at play. And I, even as having a staging and design company that runs without me, by the way, it's income that I get to deploy. But even that business, I'm like, it's going to have an expiration date. It's going to, at some point, we're going to have to do something. And it's typically based on the market and what's going on. I don't want to have a company that is dependent on what the market is doing. I want to be in control, right, of what is happening. So I think it is about having control, knowing that housing is a basic need, right? Staging is not a basic need. Let's just be real. So now I'm really shifting those gears. And I think for a lot of people, this resonates, that what are we building? And let's start now, because every day that delays is 3 more years out, is 5 more years out from this really being a significant play in our life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Jen, I really appreciate, the generosity and just really opening up, who you really are, and offering this to the Honey Badger Nation. And I'm telling you guys, if you're in the DFW area or have easy access of getting to the DFW area, like, you're doing yourself and your family and everybody a disservice if you're not able to get in here and get to this event. Just the connections alone, just the a little bit of insight, a little bit more of clarity will help you be a little more strategic, a little more intentional moving into the future.
I love it. I love it. I'm actually already seeing some tickets coming along here. So thank you guys for taking action and believing in yourself, believing in our community, because it is a team sport. So Thank you, John. Hope to see you there. And we're always here for you guys when you need us.
Jen, I appreciate you. You're amazing. And for you guys, get that ticket booked. Get connected with Jana. Pay attention to her on social media. I mean, just follow her. Everything that she's doing, you're going to learn a ton following her, but you're going to learn even more. And like she said, collapse time by getting here on November the 11th and 12th. Jana, appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
See you guys. Thanks.